Good afternoon, everyone in the room and to online. For this panel, we have just only an hour and will be utilized every second on this stage to comprehend our effort to mitigate the emission driven by the cement industry and how it functions as a catalyst for net zero achievement in Thailand. For the panel, we have just 4 panelists today who have different function and contribution on Saraburi Sandbox. However, we begin with the cement industrial global trend like Global Cement and Concrete Association or GCA. The first one, Mr. Thomas Gillian, he is CEO of GCCA. He has more than 20 years of sustainability experience with a key focus on circularity and industrial ecology and development of Holcim's decarbonization program and its circular business GO cycle across the EMEA region and lead GCCA's Global Net Zero Implementation Program as well as global initiatives on innovation and international engagement that Thailand aligns with too. Please give a hand to him. And the second one is Dr. Chana Phumi here in the my hand side, Chairman of Thai Cement Manufacturer Association or TCMA, Chief Sustainability Officer of the Siam Cement Public Company Limited or SCG. Have two laws. He brought the greenhouse gas emission practice into line with the Thailand's 2050 net zero concrete and cement roadmap publicly launched last year at COP27 in order to support Thailand's nationally determined contribution or NDC, including energy, industrial process and product use or IPPU and LULUCF. And the third one, Dr. Kittipong Pramwong, President of NEXPO or Office of National Higher Education Science Research and Innovation Policy Council. The NEXPO is better to call, which the organization work about innovation in policy level, is also responsible for higher education and NDE under the technology mechanism of UNFCCC. And the last one but not least, Mr. Apirat Sapjarat Sang. He is the project Deputy General Manager Toyota Daihatsu Engineering and Manufacturing. His company is the one joined in Saraburi Sandbox in transportation sector, and it is an honor to have you all on the panel. Our panelists will present just 10 minutes of each and have question section to be more clear on our work. And finally, conclusion section. The first one begin with Mr. Thomas, like a global level, and to see how we apply the global level in Thailand. Nickname is Saraburi Sandbox. Please, warm welcome to Mr. Thomas Gillian.
Hello. Hello everyone. Delighted to be here. Thank you for the invitation and the opportunity to explain how we can actually cooperate. I think there is something really important that we are talking all along this discussion at COP. It's the word collaboration, right? A lot. I mean, we have it on the boards. Collaboration. And I think here, and that's why I'm going to try to explain, is how collaboration has taken place in this discussion and leading to what I would qualify as a fantastic project, which is the Saraburi Sandbox. First, I would like to give a little word on cement and concrete, because I think it's important. Cement and concrete is literally the backbone of the modern society, right? We need this material. It's what we call an essential material. And we need cement and concrete to develop the world. I mean, there is a growing need of infrastructure from now to 2050. But we need to decarbonize the material, right? We know that, it's clear. And we are engaging, the industry has committed to go through the net zero, and we are engaging on the way of neutrality. So what happened is in 2021, just before the COP of Glasgow, we have actually set an objectives, which is the net zero roadmap, where we have explained the different technologies to get to net zeros. These technologies are taking place from all over the value chain, and we have actually participated throughout the sector with more than 250 people, business leaders from around the world, to actually define our pathway, what could be the cement credible pathway to 2050. That was an objectives, that was a vision, that was an ambition. Now, this is nothing if it's not followed by action and by concrete development. And shortly after having this roadmap, we have launched what we call the Net Zero Accelerator. By then, you have Net Zero Accelerator everywhere, but by that time, there was not that many Net Zero Accelerator. And so we have the first concrete on cement Net Zero Accelerator. And the idea of this was to consider how we can leverage or how we can use the 7 technologies in the local reality. And we have called for a discussion with cement association, cement and concrete association around the world to see how we could work together. On the first association that responded was actually Thailand, telling us, guys, we want to work with you, we want to decarbonize Thailand, and we want to understand how we can make it work. So the idea was to understand not only the metrics or what are the technologies and how they work, but also to have the policy asks, so what needs to be transformed and changed in order to facilitate the development of the technologies. And last but not least, the projects, right? And so projects, that's where we link. We have a project, the Saraburi Sandbox. And I have to say that I was very, very pleased. If you remember last year in the COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh, where we have presented on the Thai Pavilion. So that's like an anniversary on a routine. That's good. We have presented, the Thai roadmap, and this is extraordinary. I want to say that 1 year later, we are here not only talking about what we want to do, but what we are doing, and that's something I think exceptional for this type of discussion. So for me, the Saraburi Sandbox is really the continuation of this discussion. I mean, we are not involved, or we are involved. I mean, from remote, it's led by not involved. I mean, it's led by the Thai association, and it's a fundamental milestone because we show actually the logic of collaboration, global industry, local actors, reality on a region in Thailand, etc. Now, what are the next steps with this? That's a little bit of a barbarian slide, but what we are trying to do with our cement colleagues around the world is to deploy what I call this battle plan. So we have defined, a number of, here you have on the vertical the technologies or the levels to get to net zero, and for each of them you need to understand what are the policy asks, what are the knowledge transfer that are required, what are the projects and what are the financing, right? And that's, by having that, and we have that for Thailand, by having that, we are able to actually help and support the Thai Cement Association, the SCG Group, and the other cement player of Thailand in reaching out and in implementing the project. And you see, this is a slide that I borrow from UNIDO. So the UNIDO has put together this thinking of how to actually escalate. They talk about chain reaction, how to create a chain reaction to actually lift up and enable and unleash the potential to go for the net zero transition. And so you see, they talk about enabling environment. That's exactly what we are doing. We have a roadmap. We have identified the pain points. We have identified the area where the environment should be enabled. So it's about policy ask, it's about transformation, etc. And then we have make the financial sector understand why these projects are bankable. You know, we hear many times in this conference saying we need to deploy capital, we need to enable or transition the capital. The investors, they will invest in these technologies if they perceive that there is a return on investment, right? If they perceive that these technologies are supported by legislation, if they perceive that change is about to happen. And this is exactly what we are doing. On there again, in this transition, in the acceleration of the transition, we have a role, and we will co-pilot that with our friends from Thailand to explain to the big multilateral bank and to the people that potentially have the grants or the financial capabilities to invest in the projects, so that these projects are actually good projects and need to be financed and deployed. So we are now in discussion with a number of institutions, UNIDO in particular, to actually see, how we can give credibility to these projects, on how the support of multilateral bank and organizations like UNIDO will come in Thailand and say, look, these are good. We need to get these things done. We need to get these things to progress, and we need to have this project become a reality, and they are effectively so. That's another example of cooperation. And I think I will stop here. I spoke with more than 10 minutes or not. But really for me, what's fundamental is that we have been deploying an initiative which I didn't think, if somebody would have told me 2 years ago that we would be at that level in one country in the cement sector, I would have signed with 2 hands immediately, not believing that this would be possible. So thank you for that, and thank you for making my dream possible.
Thank you, Thomas.
Always admire Thailand, คุณ Thomas. Thank you.
Okay. I think your work is very fantastic, and that can, how to say it, can bring our country, can ally with, but the Kuntana is very good also, can lie with your project. You say you do more how to do. You say how to do more to action the net zero, but you build up the environmental to do it. Not just only roadmap, but you build up the environmental. Is very fantastic. But thank you for sharing us. And the second one, Kuntana Pumi. Please clap your hand. Welcome Kuntana Pumi to present how TCMA and SCG work on.
Okay, let's start with the short video clip. And as Thomas explained that Thailand is the first country that got a roadmap approval from GCCA. According to what we have to send all data, not only SCG itself, but also all members of the cement industry in Thailand. That can, I think we have to make trust among all producers, because the data that our producers submit is quite very important for the competition in the market. This is the first starting point. And secondly, I would share that if you want to get things right, you have to start with the solid roadmap, and how you can ensure that that one is solid enough. Therefore, GCCA quite very good support. They send the ECRA, European Cement Research Academy, who the third party to make the assurance for our data. That the story, it take more than 1.5 years to make trust among the member and then submit the data to ECRA. It take about 6 months. That's why we are the first country that got roadmap in the world. I'm present there in Atlanta, and also I'm very proud of that. Not only SCG, but also all the company also use their effort to do this thing. This is the Thailand target that we have to in line with. What we have the cement roadmap also, we have to talk with the government agency to combine or integrate our roadmap into this national roadmap that the starting point of the linkage of the industry to the country and also the country to UN FCCC that the Prime Minister announced and commit on the target that we have to reduce. And how come of the Saraburi Sandbox? Actually, we start with the five category of the greenhouse gas reduction. One is the energy. 70% of the emission in Thailand is from energy side. Second, IPPU, industrial process and product use. This a lot from cement. That's why Saraburi just come in the first priority of Dr. Kittipong in focus on how we can start that area. Third is the agriculture that we do some initiative also in this area and also waste and land use. That the five category of the how we dealing with the emission reduction. But for roadmap of the GCCA, it's not in this slide. As Kun Thomas showed us, we have a 7 level, what we call the color of the initiative. 7 level is consists of the start with the how we can make the green product innovation, lower the carbon from the product itself. That we launch the hybrid cement or low carbon cement in Thai market. And also the series of the next launch, we will apply the calcite clay. That will much more efficient on the gas reduction. Still need to support from abroad because we need the technology to invest to modify our process. This is also GCCA support to talk with Click Foundation that Switzerland have the Article 6 allow that we can sell the carbon from this product and get the money to support our investment. Right now, still talk with the government side how we can combine this part 30% plus 10%. This will accelerate how we can lower down our CO2 reduction. May I back to this one? Secondly, we have the energy transition initiative that we focus in Saraburi Sandbox, try to scale down the country to be the area base and see how the government react with obstacle and problem. For example, in the energy case, we have the smart grid modernization that can allow all the user to connect our renewable power to the grid. Then we can cutting down our emission. But the law and regulation is not ready yet. Anyhow, this morning I also talked with Kun Chap about the second life battery on EA, he from EA. That if we can do some test and learn project on second life battery in the Saraburi area, the big storage is better than small one and connect to the grid. This one also can accelerate how we can reduce the greenhouse gas from energy side. And also we do some the low carbon paddy field in Sao Hai district. This also can less down the water that used in the doing the rice, and also we can sell more price in global market. I think what I'm trying to conclude, because it's a short, maybe more than 10 minutes. We cannot go alone. What the event that we join COP we have to prepare ourselves in the country very well to see how we can get the grant or green funding from developed country that provide 100,000 million US dollar a year for the project that government have to start to talk and link together, then cascade to the company level. That Thomas also talk about UNIDO. This also we're trying to move how to get the money funding for carbon capture and storage or even utilization in Thailand. May I just communicate and send a message to all the government agency, especially the one that can dealing with the change or amend our new legislation or law and regulation to support and move the project that we take in Saraburi. 100% of project, if we can succeed 10%, therefore we can leverage to other province. 90% is very important that we can get a lot of information to amend all of the law and regulation that we can have very good new legislation in Thailand. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Khun Chana. It's very important message of this panel because we not just set up this panel for how we do, but we would like to get some support and to show what our doing is very important, not just only Thailand, but in the global level also. But the third one, he is just only one representative of government sector that Khun Chana mentioned a little bit, and he is my boss also. Dr. Kittipong Pramwong is very important because he is my boss. Please, warm welcome to him, please.
But today she is my boss. Thank you very much. I'm from NXPO. NXPO is a policy body in charge of formulate the policy for the government related to higher education, science, research, and innovation. And we realized that we talk about the Saraburi Sandbox, which is an important initiative to show that we can really do to achieve what the country set the target of net zero emission. And I think net zero emission almost impossible to achieve without knowledge, technology, and innovation. So this is a very important one. And NXPO both domestic and also international. International NXPO is, they call it a national designated entity. I don't know what that should mean, but our responsibility is to connect with the CTCN, Center of Technology Network under UN FCCC. We hope that when we would like to develop technology, as Thomas said, we need to collaborate with the overseas in terms of technology, and also we need a support from UNFCCC financial mechanism. For example, the global climate fund, right? GCF, and global environment facility or GEF. We need to submit this for them to support us in terms of technology. And also, when we talk about the achieving the net zero target, I think at NXPO we do the dual track. One is industry-based. For example, cement industry or even tourism industry. We still see the room how to make the tourism to be green. This is industry-based. and also area-based. Area-based like Saraburi province or Phuket province for tourism, or some other province like in EEZ, Rayong, that's on the petrochemical industry. Saraburi is very unique because it fulfills both of the tracks. It is area-based, but at the same time, cement industry is very important in terms of producing a lot of emission, but it can make it more efficient, and the industry is ready to take action on this. And I think cement industry in Thailand is very advanced now, among the top of the world in terms of dealing with greenhouse gas. So almost, among the top of the best practice, I believe. Do you agree? Yes. And then when we do the area-based track, we not just look only at the industry, but also we look at the province as a whole. Then we include farmers into the development, the society, also communities come together. And at NXPO, we support not only in terms of policy, but we also have a mechanism. Like in NXPO, we have kind of a funding mechanism as well in terms of research and innovation. For example, Dr. Kunchana talked about the agriculture system, that the dry and wet agriculture system. We also have area-based funding agencies supporting, doing the research, how to do the best practice in agriculture to reduce emission. We also have a mechanism, financial mechanism. We call it a program management unit funding related to competitiveness. It means we could also support development of innovation of the industrial firm to do anything actually related to greenhouse gas emission, which help them to be more competitive. And we also have another funding mechanism related to development of skill and talents. Because I think when we are trying to drive a net zero emission target, we need people to come and to do the job. Then we need smart people, we need a talent. We also have this, a mechanism to support them. That's in NXPO. So I hope that Saraburi will be the first province that can show that we will be significantly reducing the carbon dioxide. And next COP, we can probably show the progress on that. Dr. Chana said that by 2030, we can reduce how many percent? 40 to 50%. That is very significant, and we will look forward to see that. So I stop here.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Kittipong. Yeah. He said he used Nexpo function to support and link other partners. Actually, we have other partners also in the government sector, not leave Kunchana to do alone. Yeah. And the last one, he said he built environmental also, but he built art in net zero landscape. Last but not least, Kun Apirat will show you how implemented in the Saraburi Sandbox in transportation sector.
Okay,
Please.
good afternoon, everyone. This is my privilege to be here today to share some my experience. From the first section, we can hear about the global scale, the country, policy, area base, and for me, it's the practical example. And today I will talk for 3 points. First, why Toyota is joining here. And the second, what is the principle that we are thinking for carbon neutrals. And the last one is the extra example that we are working with SCG. Okay, start from the first point. Exactly from Toyota, one of the automotive company. And you might wonder why the guys from Toyota like me is sitting here. And this photo took April this year. Our top management signed the MOU with SCG, Toyota, SCG, and the new company called CJPT. We signed the MOU together to challenge for the carbon neutrality. And for Toyota, it's a well-known company. SCG is a well-known company. Next page, please. But CJPT might not be the well-known, so that please let I introduce a little bit about this company. The company name CJPT stands for Commercial Japan Partnership Technology. This company was established 2 years ago in Japan by 5 automotive companies: Isuzu, Hino, Suzuki, Daihatsu, and Toyota. They are competitors, but they decide to join together to achieve for 3 purposes. Next page, please. First, we would like to challenge and contribute for carbon neutrality society. The second, we would like to solve the industrial difficulty, especially in transport point of view. And the last one, we would like to promote the CASE, C-A-S-E, CASE technology to the social. So that by combining these 5 companies, we can handle the big truck that carry a big load and run very long distance until the very, very small car that just bring the product to your home from Lazada or Shopee or somewhere. That sometimes we call it last mile logistics. So we can cover the most of the vehicle that we are using in the logistic industry. Okay, next please. So that next point is about how Toyota is thinking about the carbon neutrality. If we image the carbon neutrality in logistics as one of the mountain, we believe that to reach the top, there should be the various way to go to, not only one way. That's why we call it the multi-pathway approach. In this multi-pathway, there will be 2 big pillars inside there. Next page, please. The first pillar is the electrification of the vehicle. If we say the electrification of the vehicle, everyone will think about the battery electric vehicle or BEV. But it's not only that. We also have the FCEV, that is the electric vehicle that use hydrogen as the fuel, as the energy. We also have the BEV. We also have the vehicle that use the hydrogen as the fuel in the internal combustion engine. Also, hybrid vehicle can be counted to be the one choice. Why we have to prepare this choice? Because we believe that one choice cannot answer for all logistics. And also it depends on your country energy situation. So that what Toyota should do, what we should do, we should prepare the choice that can fit with anyone. This is the first pillar. The second pillar, please. The second pillar, okay, this time we change the vehicle in the road. The next step, we try to reduce the number of the vehicle and the number of the distance that that vehicle have to run. How we can do that? We can utilize the connected technology to combine the data, decide the best route, avoid the traffic jam, make the best delivery plan to the logistics that can contribute to the carbon neutral also. Okay, next please. Okay, back to Thailand, my third point. What is exactly we are working with SCG? We collaborate and working in 3 projects. First is a mobility solution, the second is the data solution, and the third one is the energy solution. Okay, next please. Start from the mobility solution. This picture is taken this year on April. We held a test drive event, but this test drive is quite different from normal test drive because our vehicle is the carbon neutrality vehicle, including FCEV, including hybrid, including a lot of vehicles. And we invite a lot of people from government sector, private sector, public sector to experience. This is the multi-pathway powertrain technology. And in actual, from this September, we already deploy the FCV truck to SCG and to use it to carry the actual material in the actual logistic operation. Okay, next please. The next one is about the data solution. What we are doing is we're working very close with SCG inside the distribution center. And we try to find the best way to enhance the efficiency, to increase the package in one truck to be full as it can be, and to improve any workplace in their operation. This one is also contribute to the carbon neutral too. And the next page, please. And lastly is about the energy. And this one, half of that is might not be SDG, but now we are doing the experiment to make the hydrogen from chicken farm. From chicken farm, we can produce the biomass. And normally, we will burn that biomass and make the electricity. But this time, we convert the biomass to the hydrogen and bring the hydrogen back to our FCEV vehicle. You can find some detail in the video in this pavilion. We also have that thing too. Another thing that now we are studying about to implement the battery energy storage system linkage with the SDG solar panel system. Because as you know, the solar, sometimes they produce electricity greater than we are using. And we have to throw it away because we don't have the way to store it. And now Toyota try to bring the battery technology to make the storage system. Then we can store the electricity in the meantime and then bring it back to use in nighttime or something like that. Okay, this cover all of my detail. So I will back in the summary section. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Kun Apirat. And you are sharing your project in the Saraburi Sandbox in transportation sector. In transportation sector is a huge emission also. The second section is the question section. The first one is the first presenter, Mr. Thomas. Your question is about, as global association, how does GCCA support this test area in Thailand on the decarbonization journey of Saraburi Sandbox? Please sharing with us on this topic.
Yeah, for us it's, I mean, I already partially answered the question, right, through the collaboration on through the levels, but maybe to be more specific on a few points. The first one I will take from the beginning. It's innovation. SCG in particular, on the colleagues from the Thai cement sector, are part of our innovation fund, or innovation research platform. In GCCA, we have now 3. We launched the third innovation platform actually here at COP. So I will explain. We have 3 global innovation platform. The first one is the fundamental research, or the pre-competitive research, we call it. So we have a network of 45 universities that cooperate with more than 40 industrial operators from the value chain. So you have, of course, cement and concrete players, but you also have people from the admixtures, you have people from equipment manufacturer, and we are cooperating in discussion with, how we can advance the technologies that will be used tomorrow in this type of projects. There are 75 PhDs working on 450 scientists network, working on, altogether we have more than 100 PhD projects and looking at everything from artificial intelligence to manage cement kiln down to the specifics of low carbon product because you change the recipe, so you have to adapt your way of building to 3D printing to et cetera, et cetera. So that's really one element where we have again playing global on local cooperation. The second platform is a startup accelerator, where we have every year a challenge put to entrepreneurs in the world, and we are gathering it's like a speed dating, if you want, in a way. But the startups are pitching the industry with their technologies, and the idea is to accelerate the availability of these technologies if they are good, and so that the sector takes it and bring it to the next level. And we do that free of charge, free of any investment. It's really focused on getting the technology through. The third platform is actually, again, with startup. It's, when we are not talking about the specific items of discussion, we want to engage also entrepreneurs throughout the value chain on have them working with us on presenting, on try to help them to grow after that and to deploy their technology. So that's for technology. I think the other thing is really on the financing. And that's where we will try to, we kind of innovate again with Thailand. You are with the first project. But this is essential because we need to have a real project on real demand to get to the people and say, okay, now look, we have that on the table. How do you finance it? How do you make that happen, right? And it's important that we connect the dots. Look around in that COP. It's difficult not to be overwhelmed by the number of initiatives, the number of propositions, the number of ideas, the number of... And our role here is to say, look, guys, we have here a sector, we have funds, and we need to connect the dots on to make sure that the teams all around the world, the people that go through this accelerator, they have access to the right finance model, they have access to the right support, and vice versa. Imagine for a finance community, imagine for the finance people, when they see the multitudes of promise, of ideas, or whatever, where do you put your money, right? How do you... And we have, our duty is really to get the connections both ways. The third one is knowledge. And that's again something that we will develop further, is, there are technologies that are mature, that have been practiced in Europe, in US, etc. We will have, the sector will have its first net zero carbon kiln with carbon capture producing in Norway in a couple of months from that. What do we learn from that experience, right? And how do we make sure that the project's pitfalls, the difficulties of implementing such a project, how do we raise that and we make this knowledge available to Thailand so that we avoid and that we gain tremendous amount of time, right? And this is true for every technologies on circularity, etc. It's a transfer of technologies that within the sector we accept to do, we are willing to do, to help and to really accelerate and to focus.
Thank you for your sharing. Because you mentioned about innovation, technology, and knowledge, and that's why I will ask Dr. Kittapong in the second one. From represent government sector and key initiative partner with TCMA, could you explain the tools from higher education, science, research, and innovation, or HESII, supporting the Saraburi Sandbox project, please?
Yes, I think from the policy point of view, and we are a policy body, we work with communities, academic communities, and also industry to support innovation. And now, actually, our friends here, a number of them also come, are the partner organizations. Let me take an example. Kunchiti is from Science Research and Innovation Fund, which is very important in Thailand, and we also work with them to incorporate the issue of climate change, and also specifically Saraburi Sandbox into the priority of the Innovation Fund as well. Can you? This is the representative. Please. And some are from university. Dr. Nick also, I forgot, from Chulalongkorn University. I forgot the real name. Dr. Chanatip, and they are ready. I saw a number of innovations in university that we can, bring out and to develop it, and also to collaborate with the overseas in terms of technology transfer and to support the industry. So we have to work, as Pichana said, that it's need integration and collaboration. We cannot work alone. So this is, I think, the key issues.
Thank you for your sharing. I think it's very clear from the global level about innovation, technology, and collaboration. And to Dr. Kittipong, and for Pichana.
Start with doctor and then kun and finally P. Okay.
Okay. As being one of key persons of Saraburi Sandbox, could please elaborate more in its detail and what does good like for the sandbox and support? This
Okay.
question is from your colleague.
First of all, I would say thanks to our party that support our effort. The policy itself, I think, it cannot deliver the result. We have to do some govern. This is very important. We do a lot of detail to govern how our party can work together. And then we have to design our operating model. This that we can link from the policy, govern, and also operation. We start to communicate with the Prime Minister. Hopefully, we will not have the new Prime Minister. I don't want to communicate again. Start from top and then Deputy Prime Minister that take care on the Interior Ministry. This is very important because what we're trying to do is trying to apply our existing mechanism of the government to run the project, rather than we design the new process. This I think it's quite take for a long time. Therefore, I would say that even in this COP28, the three important key factors start with clear and focused roadmap. If you can see that around all pavilion, you can have a very good example of the country that can achieve the solid result is start with a clear roadmap target that right now Thailand have, and also Saraburi and cement industry also have very legit roadmap that's supported by GCCA and outside Thailand. Second, we have to do the detailed action plan. The Saraburi Sandbox, every district also we make a list of the project across the metric on the initiative that what we have to do in different area. Last, we start from roadmap, action, and then PPP. We cannot go alone. We need some more or addition party to join to run the project, because we need a very long way. Therefore, we have to do. I would say not the collaboration. I suggest to change from collaboration to collaborative mindset. Start with collaborative mindset, then collaborative action, then co-create collaborative value. Because if you want to work with others, no one want to only spend time or resource to support us. If we cannot release or do something that can benefit to others or stakeholders, this is what I'm trying to communicate. And hopefully we will get very good support from GCCA. Thomas will arrange the annual meeting next year of the CEO Forum of GCCA in Thailand. Big approach for him. This will bring more money to Thailand, Bangkok. Okay, that's all.
Thank you. Even though this question is made from your team, but you answer from your heart, and your presentation is mentioned about to make a trust. I believe the collaboration is very deep and this project is very successful. The last one, the question for Kun Apirat from Toyota's perspective as a potential investor and partner in this project. Would you share the idea of a financial source to support? Please.
Okay, yes, the financial source is very important when we try to implement the new things. For example, just for my sector, if you can remember, we also do the data solution. The data solution main purpose is to make the delivery become more effective, reduce the number of trucks, reduce the number of the distance. Yes, it can reduce carbon dioxide, and it can reduce partner logistic cost in the same time. For example, this time we also help SCG to reduce their operation and logistic cost, so that the offset from that reduction can be used, can be think as a one of the financial source to support the project in the long term. However, there is a limitation. We believe that the support from government sector is also very important. For example, in Japan, when first time that we tried to implement the FCEV bus into Tokyo, surely the bus itself is a little bit expensive, more expensive than normal ICE. So then at the time, Tokyo government support for some rental fee for bus company, and then they can start to use the FCEV bus in the actual operation. I think this kind of the key operation from government is a very important factor to accelerate this kind of the project. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your sharing. And before we end this panel, could you give a powerful sentence to the audience on net zero emission encouragement, just to close session? Yeah, you first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What I introduced to everyone is not so fantastic, I know. But what I would like to encourage everyone is two things. First, let's do what can be done now. What we're doing now is the thing like that. The second one, we have to work together. Although the competitors in Japan can combine to be one company, why we cannot work together? There is no reason for that. There's only two. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Your boss first or mine first?
You first.
I think just short and simple. I think connect the dot and connect the people. Thank you.
Yeah, I also agree with these two speakers. Collaboration, partnership will be the most important to deal with these kind of issues. And the mindset that you mentioned also important as well. We need to have a constructive and supportive mindset because the issues or the problem is so hard, then anyone alone cannot do this. So collaboration is the key.
Yes, and please give a hand to all panelists. Even though we finished the panel, but we not finished our work. We were together after here, and Mr. Thomas also. And give a hand to them, please. Thank you very much to the audience.